Hey, everybody. Welcome to Cider Week Hudson Valley. It is Thursday and we are getting started. We're going to head into the weekend. We've got a lot of really exciting programming. Now, when we decided to go virtual with Cider Week Hudson Valley, we had some obvious ideas of what we wanted to do, but we were so excited to see so many of our participating cideries get really creative. And Pennings Farm literally came up with some of the best ideas. So they are wanting to do and are doing a sip and yoga stretch session, which we're going to do now. I'm really excited about it. I actually have my yoga mat, I've got a glass of cider, and I am ready to go. So without further ado, let's get into the weekend by doing some yoga while sipping cider. I can't think of anything better. All right. Here we go.
Hey guys, welcome to Pennings Farm and Orchard. We are at the top, one of my favorite views of the orchard, right above our peach and apple groves. We are here today with Nico. She's going to lead us in sip and stretch yoga as part of Hudson Valley Cider Week. And so grab yourself a mat or a blanket, a nice spot outside, inside, wherever, and a glass of cider, and we'll get going.
All right, we are going to get started with our sip and stretch yoga class here at Pennings. Just a quick little note before we get into it. Throughout the class, whenever you're placing your drink down, always make sure to place it either to the left or the right side of your mat, never directly in front at the top, because then it might get in the way. So yeah, that being said, we're just going to all find a nice comfortable seated position. We're going to take some deep breaths, and if you're comfortable, feel free to close your eyes right here. Just take a moment to tune everything out. Maybe you want to take a sip of your drink. Just start to find your space, and we're going to take some big shoulder rolls. Again, if you feel comfortable, feel free to close your eyes. Palms of your hands can be down on your knees, and just really exaggerating the movement of lifting those shoulders up and feeling every little muscle roll back. Take a couple more, and then we're going to reverse that direction. And if you haven't had a sip of your drink yet, go ahead and take your first one. Tori and I are repping the beet ginger cider today. Great. And we're just going to take some nice neck rolls. So let the chin hang down towards your chest. And then slowly let that left ear drop to your left shoulder. Bring the chin back to your chest. And then right ear to right shoulder. And just continue this half circle here. Going back from left to right. And then when your neck feels nice and warm, you can take it to a full circle. So your left ear will come to left shoulder. Let the head drop back. Right ear to right shoulder. I'm a little tight in my neck right now, so this is a little bit of a pinch, but if you ever feel a pinch during the class, just modify or skip it if it's not comfortable for you. Take a couple more neck rolls. And then we're going to come back to center and start to find a nice tall posture so the crown of your head is reaching up towards the sky. And I'm just shifting so you can get a better view of what we are going to do next. We're going to reach our toes out nice and long in front of us. We're going to grab our drink and we're going to reach our hands up towards the sky, taking a nice big cheers. Big inhale. And on your exhale, you're going to fold forward, reaching that drink forward as far as you can. Placing it either to the right or left of your feet. Your chest is coming down towards your thighs, and we're going to hold it here for a few minutes, or not minutes, seconds. On your inhale, really focus on reaching the crown of your head forward. You want to get to that drink. And on the exhales, focus on really letting that chest come down towards the earth, towards your thighs. big inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, slowly roll up, bringing that drink back up and top over your head and down to center. Take a nice little sip of your drink here. Everything during sip and stretch yoga is all about balance and intention, because you don't want to spill. That's the name of the game here. Don't want to spill your drink. So we're going to leave that left leg out nice and long. Right foot's going to cross over the left thigh. Your drink should be in your left hand. You're going to look over that shoulder. We're coming into a nice twist. Your left elbow is hooked under that right knee. Gaze goes over that right shoulder. You're looking to see what's behind you. And the crown of your head keeps reaching up. Maybe you can take a sip here. On your next exhale, slowly release. That right leg comes nice and long next to the left leg. Inhale, we're reaching those hands up and overhead. And we're going to exhale to reach those hands towards those toes, coming back to that first stretch that we were in. And it should feel a little bit different because we've been here before, so you might feel that you're a little bit looser, reaching a little bit further. Deep exhale. And on your next inhale, slowly rise. Again, that drink comes up and overhead. And now we're taking that twist on the opposite side. So the right leg stays nice and long. Left foot comes over right thigh. Right elbow hooks under left knee. Looking over that left shoulder. And slowly unwind, coming back to center. Bring those legs out long, give them like a nice little shake, maybe flex and point your toes. Take a sip of your drink. And I'm just going to remind you to take sips. You can take sips whenever you want. So now we're going to bring those feet in. So the soles of the feet are pressing against each other, and this is our cobbler's pose. And again, we're going to reach our hands up nice and tall to the sky, giving yourself a nice cheers. What are you cheersing to? Exhale, hands reach long towards the front of the mat. Chest is coming down towards the soles of your feet. Slowly start to sit up nice and straight, vertebrae by vertebrae. And we're going to take a quick little switch of our position here. So find a place to put your drink where it won't spill. And we're going to meet on hands and knees. So a tabletop position. When you arrive to your tabletop, just make sure that your wrists are square under shoulders, knees are squared under hips. Your toes are untucked, so the tops of your feet are nice and firm into the mat. And we're just going to start to take a couple of cat-cows to wake up that spine. So you're going to inhale, drop the belly down, gaze comes up. Exhale, push the floor away. Crown of your head drops to the floor. Start to match these movements to your breath. So inhale, gaze comes up in your cow. Exhale, going into your cat. Take 3 more rounds on your own breath. And then start to break that movement and just kind of feel around in your body, anything you need. I like to kind of reach my left hip back to the left corner and the right corner, but feel free to take any organic movements that you need to wake up your body. Maybe a quick little wrist stretch, or just rolling out the neck some more. And then when you're ready, you're going to come back to a nice neutral spine, finding that tabletop position. And we're going to reach for our drinks, and we're going to do some spinal balancing. So that drink is going to be in your right hand. You're going to reach it out and forward, like you're reaching to pass someone a sip, but don't worry, you don't have to share. And then you're gonna reach that left leg back nice and long. Hold it here. Gaze should be right over the tip of that glass. If you want to work on some balance here, try and take a sip of your drink. And then anyone who is brave enough to do a couple of quick ab exercises, we're going to inhale to bring our elbow into our knees. Actually, tap your drink to your knee and then reach back out. Nice and long. Inhale, tap that drink to your knee. Cheers yourself. Exhale, nice and long. And one more. Great. Really reach, find some extra length, bring that knee down to the mat. Find a nice spot for your drink where it won't spill, preferably on the left side of your mat. Just trying to find some level ground. If you're doing this outside, it could be a challenge. Okay, great. Take a quick round of cat-cow, shake it out. You might feel a little bit of tension in that left shoulder. Great. And we're gonna do spinal balancing on the other side. So that drink comes into your left hand. Drink reaches out in front of you. Maybe you're sharing, maybe you're not. Right foot reaches back nice and long. Gaze is right over that drink. Might be tempting to take a sip here. All right, and we're gonna go into the ab exercises. So you're gonna cheers that glass to your knee, bring it in. Exhale to find that length. Inhale, drink to knee. Exhale, find that length, and we have one more. Inhale, glass to the knee. Exhale, extra long here. Really reaching that glass forward. All right, we bring that knee back down to the mat. Glass can come down to the side. If you want to take a couple of cat-cows here, go ahead. And we'll take a quick wrist stretch. So you're going to turn both hands so that your fingers are facing you. So we're going to do both hands at the same time. And then you're just going to sit back, finding some tension and some length in those wrists. Nice, and then you bring them back so they face forward. And we're gonna take, we took this the twist in our seated position, but we're gonna take one here called thread the needle. So first you're going to give a nice big cheers. We're gonna have the glass in our left hand, reach it up overhead, and then you're gonna bring that glass underneath your right arm, reaching it out to the floor, space beneath you, bringing that head to the mat to rest. And then you can bring that right arm out nice and long. You really want to let gravity do the work here. So try and really release any tension. Bring that right palm back under your right shoulder. Slowly start to press into that right palm, lifting yourself up. Don't spill that drink. Bring that drink back up to the sky. Nice big cheers. Exhale, bring it down. And we're only bringing it down to switch hands. So you're going to switch that drink to your right hand. And we're going to take that twist on the other side, thread the needle. So reach up, give a nice big cheers to the right side. Bring that drink through under that left arm. Right cheek comes down to the mat. Push back into that left palm, slowly rise. Again, watch that glass, don't spill. Bring that glass back up to the sky. Final cheers, and bring it back to the mat, finding a place to set your drink. So we're gonna come into our first downward facing dog. So you're going to make sure the drink is off to the side. Make sure your fingers are spread nice and wide. Palms are rooted into the mat. And you're going to tuck your toes and just reach those hips up and back. Finding our first downward facing dog. And take a few moments here. We'll be here for a few breaths. Just like pedal out the feet. Maybe take a nice deep bend in those knees. And then when you're ready, you're going to slowly walk those feet to the top of your mat in between the palms. A nice big forward fold. Let your head hang heavy. Maybe nod your head yes, and then shake your head no. And we're gonna roll up to stand, but do not forget to take your drink with you. So grab your drink, and then very slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, roll up so you are in your Tadasana. We made it here, take a drink. And so we are going into what I call thirsty tree. So if you've done a tree pose before, you know where your balance is at. There's 3 different spots that you can bring your foot to. You can keep your roots nice down low, or you can bring it up to your calf or your inner thigh. We're bringing that left leg up first, so your right foot is firmly rooted into the earth. Just make sure that that left foot isn't pushing into your right knee. And then we're gonna have our drink here and grow our branches. So again, we're in thirsty tree, so you're gonna have to do a little watering and take a sip. And then you can leave your branches up nice and wide. If you want to bring one hand to your knee or put your drink there, be fun with it. And then what we're going to do is very carefully, we don't want to be hasty with any of our movements. Just bring that left foot off of wherever it is on your leg, and then slowly, slowly bring it back down. I don't ever like to end a pose in a sloppy manner. So just pedal out those feet, and then we're going to root the left foot into the mat, coming onto our right side for thirsty tree. So you're going to lift that right knee up as high as you can and put it to wherever feels comfortable, working on that balance. And again, you can grow out those branches, or you can tee your arms like a cactus. Always helps to find a point in front of you that isn't moving if you're wobbling around a little bit. And just imagine if you can do this pose during a sip and stretch class, how good it will be when you're not sipping and stretching. And slowly take that right leg and lower it down to the mat. Nice. So we're going to make sure we're on our mat, and I'm moving around to make sure that you guys can all see me. We're going to inhale, bring those arms nice and tall, giving yourselves a nice cheer. Slowly hinging forward at the hips, finding your forward fold. So put your drink down next to your mat. Let that head hang heavy. And then you're going to plant those palms and either step, hop, or walk those feet to the back of your mat, finding a plank pose. And again, you're welcome to modify. You can bring it down to your knees. We're just going to hold it here for a few moments. Really engage that core. Make sure those palms are rooted into the mat. Fingers are spread nice and wide. And then we're going to slowly lower down to the mat. Untuck those toes and just push up into a baby cobra. Exhale, lower back down. Tuck those toes, and I want to see if you can get to downward facing dog from here. So it's upper body strength. You're kind of doing like a backwards push up. If you need to modify, that's totally fine. But we're going to try and get to that downward facing dog. Inhale to reach that left leg up and overhead. Left foot comes between those palms at the front of your mat. Once you feel like you're nice and balanced here, that left foot is firmly rooted, you're going to grab that drink and you're going to rise, finding your high lunge. Or you can modify and stay in low lunge here. If you're in high lunge, make sure that front knee is in a 90-degree bend. Your gaze is forward. That right leg is nice and long. Make sure that drink is in your left hand. We're going to open up for warrior two. So the left heel should be in alignment with the center of that right foot. Gaze is over that drink. And then we're going to come back for peaceful warrior. So don't spill. Keep that glass nice and level. Reaching it up to the sky. Exhale, we're going to bring that left forearm to the left thigh. Right arm reaches forward. Nice. Slowly push up through that left foot, finding your warrior two. And then we're going to cartwheel our hands down to the mat. Remember to put the drink to the side of your mat. Hands frame that left foot. Left foot reaches back to find the right foot, finding that plank pose. And then we're going to reach those hips up for downward facing dog. If you want to add a flow in, go for it. Pedal out those feet. And we're going to take that sequence on the opposite side. So that right foot reaches up and back. Comes through between the palms at the front of the mat. Again, take a moment, make sure that right foot is firmly rooted into the mat. You feel comfortable, balanced, strong. You can stay in low lunge if you want. And then you're going to slowly rise up. Drink should be in your right hand, finding that high lunge. Left leg is straight. You're on the balls of your feet. That 90-degree bend is still in that right leg. Big inhale and exhale. You're going to open up for your warrior two to the left side. We're opening up. Drink is in that right hand. Gaze is right over the brim of that glass. And we're going to reach that glass up, finding peaceful warrior. And on your exhale, that right forearm comes to right thigh. Left fingers reach overhead, stretching out that left side of the body. Slowly pushing into your warrior two. Hands cartwheel back down to the mat. Let the hands frame that right foot. Right foot steps back to meet the left. We're in our plank pose, and this time we will take a flow. So whatever version you want, we're going to lower down. Come back up through upward facing dog. Push back to your downward facing dog. All right, so we're in downward facing dog. Take a moment to pedal out those feet. Take a few breaths here. Make sure that head is hanging heavy. You're not trying to hold your head in any way, shape, or form. It's just hanging out, loosening that neck. When you're ready, you're going to hop or walk your feet to the top of your mat, in between those palms. Take a nice deep forward fold. And then we're going to grab that drink. And we are going to rise, finding our Tadasana. And whenever you feel like you've had enough, go ahead. You can take a child's pose. You can stay in Tadasana. But we are going to be moving into our chugging chair pose. So this is a great way to play catch up if you think you've been falling behind. When you come into chair, you want to make sure that your feet, your toes are facing forward. And you're going to try and shift your weight back into your heels. So you don't want to have a weight in your toes. And when you're in chair, you want to be able to lift those toes up and give them a wiggle. So we're going to reach our hands up and overhead. And on your exhale, you're slowly going to lower those hips, sink those hips back. Again, those toes should be lifted. Gaze is up. You're going to bring that drink to center. And this is the chugging part of chugging chair. Go ahead and take a drink. And then bring those arms back open overhead. Exhale, press into the feet, slowly rise. Bring your arms by your side. Take a nice wiggle, shake it out. And we're gonna do a quick set of some moving chugging chairs just to get some like squats in. So we're gonna reach those arms up and overhead. Exhale, sink those hips back. Again, you should be able to wiggle those toes. Inhale, reaching back up, straightening those legs. Exhale to sink. Gaze is up. Inhale, slowly rise. And this is our last one. We're gonna hold it a little bit. Exhale, bring those hips down. Drink comes to heart center. Feel free to take a sip here. You can take chugging chair as literally as you want. And just try and reach those hips back a little bit further. In 3, 2, 1. Push up through the soles of your feet, giving that drink one last lift. Nice big cheers. Exhale to bring those arms down towards your side. Make sure you're not spilling that drink. Nice. Shake it out. We did thirsty tree. We did chugging chair. We're going to do twisted eagle pose. So this is another balancing pose, but it's a really fun one to do, especially when you have the added challenge of the glass. So we're going to start with keeping that right foot rooted into the earth. Start to lift that left leg up and over the right knee. And you can leave it right here if that's what's available, or you can try and tuck those left toes behind the right calf. So we got the bottom portion. You're going to spread your arms out nice and wide. Bring the arms across your chest. Right arm's going to go under the left. Bend those elbows. And then you're going to hook that left hand around the glass on the other side of your right hand. This is a twisted eagle. Sink those hips back a little further. Hold the drink right in front of your face. This is the most dramatic cheers you can do in sip and stretch yoga. Take one more big breath. On your exhale, slowly release. Again, with control. You don't want to spill your drink. We're going to slowly unwind. And then you can pedal those feet out into the earth. We're going to do that on the other side. So that left foot is going to stay rooted. Right knee is going to reach up towards the sky. You're going to cross that right leg over the left and tuck the right toes behind that left calf. And you might have a better grip on this side than the other side, or a worse grip. Your sides are always very different. Bring those arms out nice and wide. Cross them in front of your chest. Left arm goes under right. Bend the elbows. And then twist so the hands are around the glass. Start to sink those hips down. Drink comes up, overhead. A nice dramatic cheers. Take a big inhale, reach that drink up a little bit taller. Sink those hips back a little bit further. And on your exhale, slowly start to push up through the earth, unwind, coming back to center. Inhale, bring the glass up and overhead. Exhale, hinging at the hips, coming forward, placing the drink down next to your mat. Forward fold. And then you're going to root those palms and slowly walk the feet back, finding your downward facing dog. Bring those knees wide to the mat. Toes come to touch. We're going to sink those hips back, finding a child's pose. So in child's pose, that forehead is rooted into the earth. Gravity is doing all the work here. So really just let yourself be heavy. Let those hips really sink back. Your fingers are spread nice and wide and your palms are in, pushing into the earth. We'll be here for a few breaths. Take a nice deep inhale, fully filling up those lungs. And on your exhale, you're going to start to walk those hands up to push yourself up onto your knees. So this is the pose that we're going to end class in today. So if knees are not, or shins are not comfortable for you, you can find another seated pose that feels better. We're just going to end with one more nice big twist. We're going to reach those arms up and overhead. Keep that drink in the right hand. We're going to turn to our left, just placing the drink right up below that left knee, taking a nice big twist, looking over the left shoulder. On your next inhale, you're going to slowly rise, reaching up to the sky. Switch the drink in those hands, turn to the opposite side. So looking over that right shoulder, drinks in the left hand. Slowly start to unwind. One final reach, so take a nice big stretch. And then slowly bring that drink down to heart center. We're not going to end with a Savasana because I feel like who knows how sleepy you are after a sip and stretch yoga class. So we're just going to end right here with the final cheers. Thank you for joining me and Tori here at Pennings. This has been so much fun. Namaste.
All right, everybody, that was really awesome. Nice little graphic there at the end. Thank you so much to the folks at Pennings Farm Cidery. That was really fantastic. I had a really good time. It was perfect time to do some stretching after a long week, and I am looking forward to heading into the weekend now. So coming up later tonight, we actually have a tasting with Graft Cider, and that's going to start at 6:30. And then we have a really awesome panel, a Meet the Cider Maker panel. It's going to be hosted by Tim Buzinski at Artisan Wines, one of our sponsors for Cider Week Hudson Valley. It's going to start at 7:30, and on the panel is going to be Ryan Burke from Angry Orchard, Carl De Hoffman from Orchard Hill, and Max Pritchard from Rose Hill Farm. So that is going to be a fantastic conversation. So be sure and tune in then. And then we have a whole weekend of programming coming up. So you'll want to check out ciderweekhv.com. Go to our events tab and find out what events are coming up and where you can buy your cider for those events before they actually happen. So you can go out, get your cider, and then come back and partake. We have a really awesome cider and drawing session. So we're going to sip cider and do some symmetry drawing with Hudson Valley artist Donna Mickelson and Merchant's Daughter Cider. That's going to happen on Saturday at 2 o'clock. So join us for that. And then actually Pennings Farm, we're doing a virtual orchard tour with them on Sunday at 11:30. So be sure and come back for that. Now, all of this programming is free, but as I've been saying all week, if you are able and you can find the capability to do so, we would really appreciate your donations. Your support would go a long way in allowing us to maintain this type of programming. And 20% of the proceeds we're going to raise, we're going to donate to the Restaurant Workers Community Foundation, which is a really awesome organization that's helping restaurant workers out during COVID-19 and also starting to deal with some social justice issues. Actually, they've been dealing with them for a while, but of course now that's taking some focus as well. So we're looking forward to being able to support them. Your support will help us support them. So please give as you're able. All right, so I'm going to end this program, but check out ciderweekhv.com for further information on events and where you can donate. And we will see you at 6:30 for our tasting with Craft. All right, take care.